you were quite young when the Nazi regime took over where you were living. And so can you tell us, there's one particular story where you, at the age of 10 or something, resisted a Nazi soldier.
Yeah,
I
that
love what you
story.
said.
When I look back at that story, I can't imagine that I said what I said. It's sort of like, dear God. And this was the Scottish Institute where Jewish children were hidden by the Scottish mission. And in 1944, it was just too much good luck to not have been taken to Auschwitz and not having been shot to death. So my parents found a way to request the Scottish Embassy and the Scottish Mission to save the children, and they went into hiding and they left us in a diplomatically safe place. But it wasn't safe. And they came to take us. We were about 40, 50 children there that were left by their parents, hoping that we will survive. And as they lined us up, I looked at that young Nazi soldier and I said, I'm not going with you. And he looked at me because nobody said that. Everybody lined up hoping that if you behave, they are not going to kill you. But I figured, no, I'm not going to go with you. And he sort of looked up because there were people of all ages who lined up, and this fat little 14-year-old just made that's not where I want to go. And I said, I'm much too young and much too beautiful to be killed. And he looked at me, not that he thought I was beautiful, but because I opened my mouth and I contradicted him. And he said, then run. And he had his gun up, but he wasn't going to use it, I hoped. And I ran,
Right.
and then I realized about 10 steps later that I had an obligation. I was 14, but my mother and this young boy's mother and charged me to keep him safe. So I ran back. I said, hey, come, let's go. And we ran in the snow. It was December. We didn't know how soon the war would be over in Hungary. We just knew that we had to survive. And so we spent a few hours in the snow trying to find my parents or where they were. And we found them, and that made their life very dangerous because they were hiding under fake name and fake everything in the suburbs of the working class. And there lived in two little rooms a policeman and his wife. And my parents gave them all the money we ever had, whatever they could. And they were hiding my parents. And our showing up, the kid and me, endangered everybody and everything. And I didn't know which of the basement apartments my parents could be. And so luckily, the policeman's wife came out to the courtyard. God, the spirits sent them there.
Okay.
And they grabbed the little boy and me and put us into this little basement apartment. And luckily, the war ended 2 weeks later, maybe 3 weeks later.